monsters, I call them officers. I know enough to know to keep an eye on how I talk to you. Some of y'all are peace, but even one too many, still a decent number for the breeding of a beast. With no release, she keeps and teaches no remorse, more resembling of a thief than a horse. Plans, long range, attached to some things, and an arm that's strong. Watch the song when it changed. Nothing strange, cause you know before you saw it, it's all the same. There ain't no such thing as flawless, but all I want is a little more security, a little more safety, a lot less uncertainty. Override the circuitry, the sun is your guide. Recognize the urgency, uncover your eyes. When I turn on the lights, she vanishes, hides, but I can feel her essence in the air. Acknowledge the night stalker and regard her as a hunter. Count the amount she takes from the slumber. Summer ain't as hot as you would think. Martyr the child that wears the target for the teeth to sink. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This country's a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This city's a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. She lurks in the alleys with her own reality. Allegiance, honor, keep it all in the family. Consumes the young, blind, deaf, and the dumb. Drains the vein and puts them under the thumb. She's on the television, celebrate status quo. Energy, push mute on the remote control. Break the beat, shatter the measures to pieces. All I've left is the breath and the will to prove the thesis. It's difficult to figure out who to fear. Getting older by the minute, and younger by the year. Will the hunger disappear? Metabolism slow, world domination is the goal. Now let's gather the kids and take them out to the sticks, teach them all how to live. Come take my hand and walk with me before the vampires lock down the Twin Cities. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This country's a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This city's a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. The mud of the evening she trudges. The name, the blood is tainted with traces of loveless from up above. Truth watches in bewilderment, contemplating how he isn't really feeling it. Just another chapter of another moving picture, another afterthought, looking for a new elixir. But here she goes, even when she has to climb out the window. Out of sight, out of mind. Look out for me below, because I've never been on top of nothing other than a stove. Inside a pot of water bubbling and boiling, between a puzzle and poison. Two games in the same poison. But when my time comes, you better beat the drums and aim the guns at the ones that eat the young. If we let her, she'll do whatever it takes to survive. You don't stop till you take her life. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This country's a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This city's a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. Is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. This world is a vampire, she eats her kids. Let's hide the bodies under the bridge. All of y'all are vampires, you eat your kids. To all my killers and my $100 billers. To emo kids that got too many. He held the register open while he counted her change. I was next in line, which meant I was invisible. From where I stood, I could see that the till was full. He didn't look the type to play superhero, so I stepped forth and paid for my cigarettes. Crept out the store's front door to chase a little breath. Bangles in my head, shake the song off. Another manic Monday night, it's gonna be a long walk. A car pulled up, a fixed up cutlass. A woman and a child climbed out and left it running. They went inside of the deli, placed an order with the extra $1.50 bottled water, cause the daughter as picky. When they came out, mommy gave me a glance that said, man can love an angel, but he's gotta take the chance. Already knew the deal, I lit one up and walked. So they got back in their Oldsmobile, belted up and took off. Thug love on the corner by the Walgreens, looking at me like I'm just another square saltine. As I get closer, I notice they showing each other sketches out of their notebooks, reminding me of my old roots. I walked past with a nod and a reminisce. Swear to God, hip-hop and comic books was my genesis. Respect the life and the fashions of the children. It's the only culture I've got, exactly what we've been building. All of a sudden, I'm in front of some man. No, he's a youngin', but he's got a gun in his hand. He looks 15, he looks frantic, no, he looks afraid. Immediately apprehensive till I heard him say, do you want this? It's not mine, I promise. I found it on my block in between a couple garages. Didn't want to leave it for a child to stumble over. I don't even know how to hold it. It was a 38, the poor man's machete. Held it in my hand, thinking, damn man, it's heavier than expected. Wedged it behind my belt buckle, knowing that it's evil, even thought that I could smell trouble. The extra strength felt weak, but over there on the corner saw what I needed and proceeded to cross the street. Put the heat in a mailbox, to lose it figured that the post office knows what's best to do with it. Mosey down the road, thinking about the old. I used to roam this zone through 2 feet of snow. Right here, this used to be a record shop. I've gotten love, I've gotten drunk, I've gotten beat up in that parking lot. I've had my Lake Street pride for 3 decades. These alleyways and these street lights have seen my best days. Before I was a germ, learning how to misbehave all the way to the grave. Southside is my resting place. Took a ride on Lindale, I'm getting near, but then the road became empty and the people disappeared. The clouds ran away, opened up the sky, and one by one I watched every constellation die. And there I was frozen, standing in my backyard, face to face, eye to eye, staring at the last star. I should have known, walked all the way home to find that you wasn't here. I was still all alone. No matter where I am, no matter what I do, I'm always coming back home to you. They can leave me for dead, they can take away my truth. I'm always coming back home to you. Through the lies and the sins that ride the wind that blew, I'm always coming